So, yes, you read that title correctly. ReZero is the masterpiece that I just can't understand. And it's annoying and it sucks. Not the show. To me, like, it's annoying because I just see so much in it and how damn quality it is. But yet, it's just so dang confusing. And maybe I'm alone in this. I don't know. That's kind of why I'm making this, because I'm curious if anybody else out there is struggling with it, or to anybody that is well aware, maybe it can help me. I don't know. I do struggle to read long paragraphs of comments, because I don't know, lots of words at once make me struggle. But yeah, ReZero Season 2 is a lot of people's most favorite thing of the winter season so far. Well, I guess it goes summer and winter. And lots would deem it as a masterpiece and are freaking adoring it. That being said, I have been liking Season 1 so much more. I know, blasphemy. But the reason I say that is not because I think the season is, like, worse than Season 1, because that's completely subjective. I'm saying that because there's so much that just goes over my head. And I want to talk about the newest episode here, because it was a fantastic episode. And every now and then, I'll do these raw recordings for you guys to just talk about a new episode and just see what other people think. But newest episode of ReZero, we got to kind of have three big things go down, which was between Amelia finishing the trial, Elsa and Garfield, their battle potentially being done, and Rem and maybe Oswald having their conclusion. There was a lot of conclusions in this episode, and it was pretty epic. And at this point, all that's left is potentially Beatrice and the rabbits. But let me just kind of speed run some things first off, in terms of the episode specifically, and then I'll kind of get into the problems that I'm kind of having with ReZero Season 2. So first off, Amelia finishes the trial. And in this part of the trial, she actually gets to see kind of the future or hear the future. And I think this is going to be the most replayed part of the episode, because there's a lot of dialogue here and a lot of lines that people might be able to dissect like crazy and be like, what is going on there? But the thing that I'm actually really disappointed kind of to see happen with Amelia here is, one, it's great to see Amelia actually doing stuff, you know, but I feel like she just straight up has a cheat sheet for all these trials. I really enjoyed her run through on the first one with her past. I did a video about that, and in fact, it was just only about her past, nothing else, basically. But she kind of just, you know, she grieves after it's over, but she just does it. And then she looks at the present she wishes that she was in, and she just passes it. And then she goes into this future, and she just passes it. And she has absolutely true things to say, but characters are interesting when they struggle. That's why I freaking love Subaru, because we see that boy struggle through so much stuff, and there's a lot of great characters that we get compelled to follow because it's not that we like to see them struggle, but it's because we feel compelled to see them succeed because of their struggle. And Subaru just made Amelia absolute Tony Robbins of life, I guess. If you're in America, you know what I'm referencing there, maybe. But I don't know. It's just like that one conversation with Subaru just made Amelia just know everything about life and be absolutely certain of how she wants to handle life, and is completely satisfied with herself, her past, and her future, and shaping it. And it's just like all of a sudden Amelia is one of the world's best coaches in the world. So I don't know. I personally find it a little bit weird. But another cool thing we got to see in this episode was one of the coolest fights of the series, in my opinion. And White Fox went to Hammertown with this, but Elsa versus Garfield is one of the best fights of ReZero. Seriously, like, to me. And I don't know, like, it just got really hardcore. The animation went insane. And I always like those battles where it's like two opponents that are completely not on the same side. I like in those battles when there's just the slightest like the slightest bit starts forming of respect. And I feel like that's what happened with Garfield and Elsa in this, where it's like Elsa's legitimate, like, I'm gonna fall in love with you after I kill you, kind of a thing. I'm like, I love shit like that. I don't know why, but I just do. And we also learned that Elsa is potentially a vampire. And yeah, she just straight up can regenerate all the time, which kind of explains how she lived through a certain thing with Beatrice in part 1 of the season. But, sorry, there's like a dust bunny there. But I don't know, this fight was dope, and it's also, like, they also try to kind of humanize Elsa because, you know, her sister constantly gets in danger, and she's watching out for her, you know, and it arguably, and that whole, like, biting sequence with each other, that was cool. Like they were both going at it so hard that some would straight up say, this is a certain kind of hentai. But no, I just thought it was like them just going to town on each other, like one of us is gonna die, let's go. We'll freaking bite each other to death if we have to. That's what I mean. It was just a hardcore fight. I freaking love it. And we'll see if Elsa lived. But this gets into my biggest problem with ReZero Season 2 as a whole. Rem. Not Rem specifically, because Rem's an awesome character. She's a very underestimated best girl. But it's Rem and Roswaal. Their bit in this episode, many will probably argue, was the coolest part of the episode and was the most dramatic and compelling and blah, blah, blah. My problem, though, is I'm not as compelled by it because I didn't understand what the hell they were talking about 2 episodes ago. I think I watched that episode, maybe it was 3 episodes ago, I can't remember. But I was watching that episode when I was on a plane at one point, so I had nothing else distracting me, you know, like I'm not around my stuff or my phone to text or whatever. I'm just watching the episode and that's it. I'm just on this plane with earbuds, that's it. I'm focusing on it. I couldn't understand anything that they were talking about, except I guess there was a deal made that at one day when Roswaal dies, I think, he promises that Rem can have his body to do whatever she wants with, aka potentially carve out like crazy, because I think I also got that Roswaal was in charge of her village being destroyed. That's it. That's all I got. I don't know like what the deal is with Rem. I guess she thinks that Roswaal is going down a self-destructive path because of whatever this journal that Echidna left for him. And that's why they showed, you know, how Beatrice and Roswaal were like students and like kind of children of Echidna and stuff, and why, you know, like it's a remnant of their past. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know with absolute confidence. There's so many, and it's not just them. There's so many characters in this show that I don't 100% understand their reasons for doing things. And that's so important. Because when you want to follow characters, you want to root for them, but I don't know what to root for if I don't understand what they're trying to do, you know? And so this whole bit with Rem and Roswaal, it was presented fantastically. The animation got crazy, and you know, we got to see Puck versus Roswaal all the more, and it got, you know, explosive, and like we have a song playing that maybe Rem herself sings, and we see her try to go demon mode for a moment with her broken horn, and it tears her body apart, and she gets a book, and she's like, it's all good now. She throws it into the fire, and Rem it looks like Rem died. And if she did, I'm going to be sad out of my mind, because the number one thing that keeps me watching this whole show is the characters. But it's mostly because of the great shit Season 1 did. I loved what Season 1 was doing, because it kept things in a plot line that I was able to more easily understand. But that's how I got attached to the characters. I was able to follow the plot a lot more easier. And while I was being able to follow the plot, I was getting really attached to these characters because you're still learning a lot about them. This season is Exposition City. And when this moment of this episode happened, I actually was getting a little bit mad because I just felt like I was listening to a conversation I had context to that I was supposed to understand but didn't understand. And maybe this is just because I'm dumb. I don't know. It could be. Maybe I'm dumb. And if I am, then cool. Whatever. That's fine. But it just frustrates me that the show is like expecting me and a lot of other people to get it. I have a friend that started watching this a couple months ago, and he's like, am I supposed to be understanding all this right now? Like, he was trying to watch season 1, then he started to get into, he started watching season 2, part 1, and then he got into part 2, season 2, and both parts, he's like, am I supposed to be understanding this? Am I? And I'm like, dude, I don't know if you're supposed to be or not. But I hate that feeling. If it's at least like a mystery, say, I don't know, Attack on Titan, you get presented things in that show that you're not supposed to understand. It's clear that you're not supposed to understand that in that moment, but they make that clear. What ReZero does is present so many things to you as if you are supposed to understand. But I just don't think that's personally fair. So ReZero Season 2 is that masterpiece that I just don't get. And I'm still enjoying the show. And I think we only got like 2 episodes left before it concludes. But man, I don't know. I really wish I understood this battle that Rem and Roswaal were having. And Roswaal's emotions, that's the key. It's not about understanding the plot, because I'm getting the plot. I want to understand the characters. That's why I can deal with Fruits Baskets. Like first season and second season. Well, second season got a little bit better. There was no plot, but I was on board because of the characters. And I still feel like that with ReZero, but it's frustrating because I feel like I'm supposed to understand these characters, but I don't. So, but I still thought this new episode was dope. Let me know what you thought of it, because yeah, I'm sure a lot of people love it out there, and I definitely still enjoyed it. It just is reminding me of my biggest con with this season. So thank you for listening, though, and please let me know your thoughts. And maybe, I don't know, if you want to try to answer things for me in literally 3 sentences or less, if you can. Why exactly is Roswaal messing with Subaru? What is his goal for Subaru? What exactly is his goals with Amelia, if that's been said? What exactly is the reason that Rem is trying to destroy this book that Roswaal has? What exactly is the blank book having to do with Beatrice? I could go on and on, man. Maybe I should just make a comment that lists all the things. So anyways, leave me your thoughts down below, and I'm still enjoying it. And don't forget to be geek proud awesome. Thanks.